what this has forced them to do has actually been a really big eye opener to the dealer principal. They've had to do a lot with a little. And he was talking to me and there goes, Jason, I hate to admit it, because it might sound bad or not empathetic, but my profit margins right now are through the bloody roof. I mean, I have three guys in my dealership right now who are playing four roles. Each guy is a salesperson, an F&I manager, a sales manager, and a service manager, all into one singular role. And yes, we're doing less business, but the profit margins are considerably higher. And that's actually a good question. I mean, do you guys foresee when we come back into this new norm, dealerships that have now gotten accustomed to being able to do more with less? Like, is that going to fundamentally change our operations? Todd, I'm going to start with you to kind of get your thoughts on that, and then James, I'll bounce over to you.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I think that's when we look at the operations as dealers come out of this, those have been really impacted in the short term for cash flow and whatever. They're obviously going to look to tighten up their operations. And I think some of it will be looking at, do we really need all these positions? I know it's a tough message for the industry if you're laid off right now, just hoping you're going to come back to full employment. But I think as you look at, some of these changed roles, some of the way that people are interacting, even as we are now through video and, so communication. So the sales teams, I think there'll be more remote work available for people in dealerships, whether for health or other reasons. And I think people will get used to interacting. I interviewed a GM out of a Chrysler dealership recently. And I visited the dealership before. The first thing that happens when you walk in, she greets you at the door, big smile, super friendly, really, really capable GM. Now she says, now I'm going to have to adapt to actually using tools like this for people, and I can complete deals and transact. So when you actually think about the available time to work and interact with people using a bunch of other tools, we can actually be hyper productive. And I know that's not necessarily a message people are waiting to come back to work, as I say, really want to hear. But I think dealers will have to kind of start to look at the risk to their business that they face during this, and how much risk tolerance they want to have to go back to really full employment levels. So